Many call this mark my greatest failure. I disagree. I had the choice. Butcher a nation and restore peace within the Imperium, or let them live. I made my choice. And while others may believe me weak or believe I lost my stomach for war, I have not. I could kill them all if I desired. In truth, on that fateful night, I know I made the right choice. I stared down at a small, handwritten letter. None of my guards saw anyone enter my apartments aboard the Besfin. No one knew how the small note appeared on my desk. And yet, there it was, staring back at me. It asked, very simply, to meet me and discuss the future of humanity. I almost scoffed. It was a rather presumptuous message, and there was only one woman alive who would be asking this of me at that time. I was there, having battled through the fleets and defensive rings of Ilusia, and now my battered and bruised and almost destroyed fleet awaited for the reinforcements to arrive. I trusted Callaius to come to my aid. He would not abandon me to death. Never. And so, that was the game. Wait for enough forces to storm the capital planet of the Universal Collective, or proceed with this message and meet with the new High Lady of the Collective, Randera Callaius, young from what I knew of her, and intelligent. Her mother had been a warrior, not a stateswoman. She had dreams and aspirations, but she did not have the stewardship to see them come to light. Her daughter, however, was different. She had only been in charge of the collective for a few months after her mother was killed during the Battle of the Isolon Fangs. And so, in the dark of night, I made my choice. I stole away in a small shuttle, accompanied only by the head of my household guard. Marilyn refrained from informing me that she believed this was a terrible idea, though I knew she desired to. Only loyalty and love stayed her tongue. I had battled for years against those within the Universal Collective. I had butchered and brutalized. I had shown mercy when able, but I had never shied away from sowing death and destruction when I believed it necessary. I cared not for the titles and opinions of others. Some thought me a monster. Others believed I wasn't willing to go far enough. It does not matter. If I was to die during this meeting, then so be it. It will be no great loss to anyone save my wife. I wanted to see if there was a possibility for a better future, not simply death and violence and bloodshed. Maybe, had this been 5 years ago, I would have done my duty. Maybe I would have gritted my teeth and burned a swath through the remnants of the collective until the Imperium was ultimately victorious. But I had witnessed too many dark deeds done in the service of my Emperor. I had partaken in the very rot and sickness I so loathed, because I believed it was my duty. Duty is inconsequential now. I would not be chained to the whims of a vile madman who butchered my friends and threatened those I loved. And so, I went to see Randera Callaius, and see what the future of humanity could be. She was not a grandiose woman. She wore no crowns or jewels, despite her station. She met me in plain clothes, in a hidden bunker deep beneath the surface of Ilusia. The star of the Ilusian system was dying, and so all who live on Ilusia do so within subterranean cities. It was a beautiful marvel to behold, but I was not there for long. What she said to me I will not disclose, for there are some secrets that must be kept until the grave. But I will say, I left that meeting with a strange feeling of hope, a feeling that the universe could, perhaps, be better. Maybe that dream we all shared, maybe it could come to fruition. When I returned to the Besven, I gave my orders. My vanguard was to retreat. Callaius and Nymeria's fleets, waiting for my signal to launch their attack, were ordered to withdraw as well. I half expected Nymeria to disobey my command. But no, she relented. She followed my orders, even when she expected the worst. I was Ardanius' champion, and so my word was his. The Shattered campaign, called as such because I shattered the collective. If I had done my duty, billions would have died, and the Imperium would be at peace. However, we would be an Imperium under the vicious rule of Ardanius Malcarn, without an alternative, without hope for something better, something brighter. I have witnessed horrors and I have committed 1,000,000 ill deeds for which I am rightfully damned. And finally, I had reached my limit. The bleak pit of despair that had dogged me for the last several years. At last, I could finally see a light at the end of the tunnel. A way forward that offered a kinder future. None, save one, understood my grief. I could not confide in those I loved. I could not tell my family why. And even my closest friend in all the world, a man I see as my brother, even he turned against me when I attempted to see my promise through. In the end, I will do what I must for a better tomorrow.